Welcome back, Tribe. We have an episode here from Novatoria. It says, why every employer is scared of Gen Z?
75% of employers say Gen Z isn't just lazy, they're unemployable. Not a meme, that's real data. 93% ghosted job interviews, 87% didn't show up on day one, but here's the twist. What if Gen Z isn't broken? What if the system is? In this video, we're putting Gen Z, Millennials, and Gen X head-to-head to find out who's really the problem, and why it might not be who you think. To really understand why Gen Z works so differently, we need to look at who came before them, the original 9-to-5 warriors. Before we had quiet quitting and job hopping, we had Generation X, the silent grinders. Born between 1965 and 1980, Gen X came of age during the rise of corporate America, and they adapted fast. Their work mantra? Put your head down, don't complain, and maybe you'll get a pension. They didn't have LinkedIn. They had fax machines, and networking meant bowling with your boss. And sure, it wasn't glamorous, but it worked. Gen X built careers on discipline, hierarchy, and a shut-up-and-work attitude. If Gen X were the rule followers, Millennials were the dreamers. That the economy woke up real fast. Born between 1981 and 1996, they were told, go to college. Chase your passion and success will follow. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Yeah, I love it. I graduated during the economic collapse, 09. Class of 09 from high school, boys. And we were told that just go to college. Your dreams are out there for the taking if you work hard. Oh, fuck. We got a worldwide recession. Oh, shit. Everybody's losing their houses. Oh, wait a second. College, like, your jobs won't exist by the time you graduate. And do you know what Gen X told us? I remember my teacher. She was, it was not my econ teacher. I think it's my business. I had a business teacher or something. I forgot what the fuck the class even was. She's like, it's okay. Back in the 70s, we had a recession too. Like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. The fuck? Sounds so hopeful, bro.
Instead, they graduated into the 2008 financial meltdown with a shiny degree in one hand and a $30,000 debt in the other.
Yep.
So when millennials talk about work-life balance, it's less about yoga at lunch and more about, I have 3 jobs and a side hustle. Now, meet Gen Z, the generation that thinks fax machines are ancient relics and the idea of working your way up sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
These are the people who never knew a world without smartphones, Uber, or TikTok. They were raised on 15-second videos and now they're supposed to stay awake during 90-minute PowerPoint meetings. Gen Z never burned CDs, never waited for dial-up internet.
Oh, the good old days.
But what they do know is this: burnout, layoffs, mental health crisis, and student debt.
And ghost
so
jobs.
Maybe it's not surprising that 50% of them say that
with wages that have been stagnant during their entire lives. So cost of living has absolutely exploded and Gen Z is asked to get paid the same, bro. The same as me, a millennial, with the cost of living of today. Fuck out of here. That shit's wild.
Rather be jobless than miserable. Maybe they're not rejecting work. Maybe they're just rejecting our idea of what work should be. Gen Z is getting roasted online, rejected by employers, and labeled entitled. But what if they're not entitled, they're just trying to survive? If you think Gen Z has it easy, buckle up. Because when you stack up the numbers, it turns out Gen Z was born into the worst economic setup in modern history.
Yep.
Gen X bought homes when the price-to-income ratio was just 2.9. Millennials faced 4.4. Gen Z,
8.
Try 5.6. The highest it's ever been. In the 1980s,
and depending on the market you're in, where you actually live, that number jumps up to almost 8. It's like 7.9x. That's fucking crazy.
Most students graduated with little to no debt. College cost a fraction of what it does today. Millennials graduated with $30,000 in loans. Gen Z? They're starting careers $38,000 in the red. Still think they're fragile? Or maybe they're the first to say, this isn't working and I'm not pretending it is? If you want to dive deeper into how the system is stacked against younger generations, check out our video, The College Lie. Why your degree might be useless. Links in the description. Gen Z didn't just challenge the rules, they flipped the whole table. And guess who's not happy about it? Their bosses. In interviews, managers call them high maintenance, uncoachable, and soft. A study shows 74% of employers say Gen Z is harder to work with than any previous generation. But here's the twist: Gen Z isn't trying to be difficult. They just don't buy the suffer now, succeed later story. They'll ask why in meetings, reject unpaid overtime, and call out toxic bosses out loud, online, and sometimes in real time. For employers raised in hustle culture, this feels like rebellion. For Gen Z, it's just setting boundaries. It's not a war on work, it's a demand for respect. Imagine this. Gen Z isn't just part of the workforce, they're calling the shots. The 40-hour week? Out. 4-day week with flexible hours? Standard. Mandatory overtime? Replaced by mandatory boundaries. Emails at midnight? If you've sent.
And people would be accepting this relic bullshit of 9 to 5, and also your work bleeds into the weekends, and your boss basically has access to you nonstop, and you're on a salary, and, you're asked to do more than what the fuck you were hired for. If you paid them a great wage that was reflective of all the extra work and all the things that were expected of them, nobody would be bitching. If wages actually were tied to inflation, then these people would have no problem. But you'd have to pay people like $180,000. Yet the wage is like 60. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. If you take somebody that's making, say, $65,000 right now to like $80,000, but instead you flip their salary to match inflation and the depreciation of the dollar, so that salary would really be like $170,000 to $240,000. That person would not be complaining. They would come into work with the pep in their step. They would feel pride in what they are doing. They would be invested and giving you maximum effort into the company. Have no problems taking calls, answering emails over the weekend, sometimes on Saturday. They would have enough money. They're providing for their family, and they would feel like they're doing their job. And half of society would be fucking fixed. Let's just say in this magical scenario, because men could provide for women that would stay home and are able to watch the kids, and you would have the traditional family function surviving, the nuclear family, and society would be right. Now you got caged animals barely surviving off 2-3 jobs, plus your side hustle, your gig job, and then you're wondering why, like, the animals aren't breeding. They're constantly like jittery. They're full of pharmaceutical pills, like they need pills to survive for their anxiety and their depression and whatever fucking other ailments. Like they're nervous wrecks. They're becoming antisocial despite we're being more connected than ever by the internet. Like, oh my God, this is the exact symptom of a stressed animal. And the outcome is it's like anybody with half a brain could see, like, that's obviously what the outcome's going to be. Look at most people today. Hell, you could see just in general, just look at the comments online on videos. Just look, everybody is gnawing at each other's heels. Like you can't even do good. Like they're getting on. Who was that? Mr. Beast like put wells in Africa for starving people, and they were giving him shit for it. Even being good and doing something noble, the people are starving so much. They're full of so much hate for propaganda that you can't even do good things in the world anymore because somebody's going to try to shit on you and try to bring you down like crabs in a bucket. It's becoming the animals, bro. They're so stressed that they're attacking each other. And soon attacking themselves. Well, already, look at a certain community that cuts off private parts of their body for whatever reason in here. That's the stressed animal, inflicting self-harm, bro. It's wild.
And one, expect a reply next Tuesday. Meetings? Only if there's a clear agenda and an actual point, and yes, that's revolutionary. Old school leaders call it laziness, but maybe it's just sanity. If this sounds radical, maybe you're just getting old. Time to change. Start with a $7 almond milk latte and see where it takes you. So after all that, who's really the problem? Is it Gen Z with their job hopping, boundary setting, and mental health days? Is it millennials, the burnout optimists who followed the rules and still got crushed by debt and disappointment? Or is it Gen X, who built the system and now say, why can't the kids just tough it out like we did? The truth? Everyone's playing the same game, but the rules have changed. Gen Z isn't lazy, they're just the first to say out loud, this system doesn't work for us. And maybe that's not a weakness. Maybe that's what change looks like. So tell us if you...
Dope little channel here. This Gen Z has known a world without smartphones, Uber, and TikTok. Just seen the adaptation of it real fast. Gen Z didn't grow up on TikTok. That's more of a Gen A. We grew up on YouTube. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, as a millennial, good job, Gen Z. We were sold a dream that the future would be better and that we were going to change the world. We're the generation that was supposed to make things different. Then adulthood came. We went bankrupt. Our parents and grandparents outvoted us and forced the current situation. You guys, you don't care at all. You don't have the hope we did, and that's good because you know that you won't change the world. So at least have some fun. Don't waste your life on a corporate ladder, nor show loyalty for those who do not reciprocate. Beautifully said. Gen Z isn't against work, they're just against being exploited. Why the heck should they be grateful or loyal to their bosses when they're $50,000 in student debt, are treated like another cog in the wheel, and are only given $12 an hour for it? Yep. Gen Z here. I work in the cybersecurity field. In the previous company where I was, they had a very old work process/framework. Like with the newer technologies, you could work 2 hours instead of just 8. I try to do some innovation inside this company, but they told me that's just how we work and we don't want to change. For me, this kind of company could die now. Fuck it. Yeah. Yeah. The real problem is we're not willing to put up with nonsense for only $12 an hour. Yeah, exactly. And neither should they. This is why it's been even more important now than ever to start your own business. And by start your own business, I mean you becoming the business, being self-employed. You need to do shit for yourself because these companies do not respect you at all. Anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. We're streaming tomorrow, boys, Friday. Check the live stream tab for the schedule. Set your notification bell. And it's, I think, the first one in like a year. So really excited to get that going again. Talk with you guys live. I missed it. I that's what I liked about the lives the most. Speaking to you guys, answering questions, shit like that. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.